So the wedges, they come as a pair. So I'm going to show you some things. Again, this is a brain dump, so this is stuff that I either have in my head or I'm just going to create as we are present together here. So I would say about 2 of your foot lengths apart. That's where I just generally start. The most general thing here is to say, okay, what do my feet feel like on here? And just this teetering side to side. Get an idea for what that's like. But sometimes be careful that these guys can slip away from center, so before you know it, you're out here. Just be aware of that. So if I was going to stay stationary, hands back, hinge. Hinging is hips, pushing back. You're pushing back through your butt, the knees are soft. So notice your feet, gripping, no, soft, easy. And turn them out a little bit so they're on a slant. Just hanging out here. Feel a little inner thigh stretch. Kind of just hanging out like a monkey. Push back up with the legs. And I mean that by that you're not pulling up with your back. Habit. Push with the legs. Okay. We went into a little bit of a slant. Balance this back arm, balance stick. Counter, it's kind of like a counter. And if I went forward, this arm becomes the balance stick. And then how about if I take this arm, circle it backwards? So the way I consider creating movements is if I'm in this position, what would it feel like if I did X next? And I put it in my head and I run it through real quickly because I guess it just is, it's become natural for me these days. So now if I'm staying in this position, what's that side bend feel like? Now this arm is still my balance stick. This gets a little bit greater in here because this feels great, but you can also, I have also strained muscles because you're just taking them either too far or too fast. So what's the answer to that is don't go far and definitely don't go fast. The knees are soft. Always being aware of that. And if we changed here, let's do something different here. I was going to see. So yeah, they wandered away a little bit. So if I reach this back heel coming off, accommodating the movement. So what I mean by that is if I go here, you can do it, but if you lift that heel, you're going to be able to accommodate the movement, but what you bring greater into it is balance challenge. And why not? This arm is your balance stick. And then how about kind of sort of not really like a warrior lunge? So what I'm feeling a lot is in my front ankle, down here, compression, squeezing. That's a good thing. This is not all about opening up and strengthening, but we want our brain to feel compression because it does during the things that we do during the day. And then if I did a rotation, I'm going to keep my feet down just because I feel that's what I want to do. So it's not only whole body movement, but it is whole body awareness, always, not focusing just on the moving part, because there's a huge, great supportive cast that is working with you. So we're going to keep these as they are. I'm going to go down and I'm going to land over there. That's my idea, so I'm previewing it in my head. And I'm going to land And I'm going to go back. So being aware for yourself, where do your eyes need to be? Peripherally, I'm scanning underneath of me. I'm not looking down. Right? If you need to look down, do it. Arms are really integral in the balance. And then once I get a hold of that, I'm going to just challenge it even more. Okay, what would it look like on the other side? I know people say, oh, this feels so much better on this side. Well, that's the other side is the one that you need to work, not the side that this feels so great on. So now I'm just adding a little bit greater range on this funky teetering. All right, so if I come off that angle just a little bit and move as if we can towards the back of that, I'm going to tap. And I'm going to alternate. Doesn't always work that way, but okay, feel. Feel. Softness in the shoulders. All right, we're going to leave these like this. We're going to go here. We're going to go over there. So I'm going to look there, and then I'm going to look up. Back. Look down. Look up. This back heel staying down. Okay, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to go down. So how are you staying in this narrow stance here while you move your head? All right. So let's see the other side. I like to do different things. So how about if I look up and then forward? So I'm going to look up. That's hard because I'm not getting a view of that. So I'm going to abandon that. That doesn't work well. So I'm going to go back to here. Once I land, I'm going to look up. This is how it works. Experiment. Let me do one more. And I'm going to stay here, and then I'm going to look down up. Arms are aware of what's going on. There's shakiness down here, normal. Okay. So how about if I go here? I think I can do that. So I'm going to guess where that is. So it's just a really good guessing game. It's your proprioception. Where's my body in space without me looking at it? Am I being safe? Safety is number one. Now, how about if I go back and I stay back there and I go heel, down, pumping. How's the rest of me? It doesn't have to be rigid and tall and posture. How are you holding on to yourself? All right, let's try the other leg. Can I go back, stay here, and perturb the system, which just means I'm going to send some movement into the rest of my body. How do I stay here? All right, I think that's it for today.